Hello. I am making a video with my rock, and my shirt matches my artwork and the sweater too. This is really nice. So it is in the afternoon. Today is Friday, January 22. 22 is a good number. It's an angel number. 2021. So it's actually 222. That's a real powerful angel number. So I want to talk about several things that are important for us to talk about in regards to psychology. And what I want to say is I dedicate this video to all women, and I want us to be empowered. Okay, so it's very important to be empowered, because and there are more and more women like myself who are empowered and sexually liberated and who are psychologically independent. Okay, so that takes almost a whole lifetime to get to that point. It takes several lifetimes, in regards to reincarnation, definitely several lifetimes. But it is never too late to call out for it to the whole world and tell people what it means to become empowered. And at least people can get started on this and can start to question society and question men and question not all men are bad. Okay, so I want to get to that subject later. So there are a few good gems out there, but they are very rare, and they are taken, baby. Yes, you better believe it. Not just taken, but they are taken by some hot chicks. So, but anyway. One can always dream, dream. It's good to dream. It's good to wish for a good man. It's never too late for that. But don't get in line behind some other women and stand in line for Van Jones or Louis' house. So that's not what I'm talking about. You can dream about Louis' house and Van Jones, and you can fantasize about them if you like, but don't sacrifice your own needs and wishes and what you want to do in your life. Don't sacrifice something like this in order to get in line for some celebrity or some really amazing guy. So don't waste your life like that by just constantly trying to get approval from someone and waiting for them to call you and tell you how beautiful you are. You should already know that yourself, that you are loved by the infinite cosmos and that you are infinitely precious, that your body is infinitely precious, and you don't need approval from society for that. I sound a little bit like Arnold Schwarzenegger, no? I had to laugh so hard in the bathroom because I was laughing about my own jokes and the stuff that I wanted to talk about in this video. But this video is very serious. I want to make you guys laugh. I want you to step out of this doom and gloom that's going on right now and look at it from another angle. Look at the situation from above. Criticize people and question people and question society, and look at those people that maybe that some people laughed about in the past. Look at those people from another angle this time. Look at them in a different perspective. For example, Andrew. I'm gonna laugh so much. This is terrible. So I really want. I don't want to laugh so much. Okay, now I'm gonna get to the point. There are 3 Andrew Weavers that I dug up. There are many more Andrew Weavers in the world. There are billions of Andrew Weavers in the world. So this is how it started. The first Andrew Weaver came to my other Facebook, and I thought it was Zane from YouTube, from the Science Chat, because I don't know, later on I thought this could be him, because it kind of, the puzzle pieces fit together. I don't know if it was him actually. So, but Andrew Weaver, then that name became synonymous in my videos for the average man who hides behind a troll account, or not just one troll account, 50 troll accounts, one for each mood. You know, it's like, oh, which mood are you in today? So, are you in the mood? So then you'll use your whatever. You'll use your whatever you identify with, you know, and you use a photo from when you were 15. Whatever, you know. And then you can flirt with 15-year-old women, and you're really actually 70 years old. I've seen all of this. I am not exaggerating. So that's why I talk about this, because I think it is very important. The stuff that they are the most afraid of that could come out to the surface, to society, the most ashamed about things, those are the things that desperately need to come to the surface. Those things are so desperate, they're like in a pressure cooker. They need to come up like a geyser. That's what needs to happen. So that we can finally let the air out of the balloon. Breathe, baby. And talk about all of this. You know, this is so important. I see men are in a pressure cooker. Most men. Like that, the first Andrew Weaver, the mean one. You know, the real mean one. And politically correct in a real bad way. I'm politically incorrect in a good way. So, but he was really politically incorrect in a really incorrect way. And he might have many facades about him. So I don't condemn someone when I say, oh, he's the mean guy. I'm not going to condemn him into the dungeon. I see the many facades. I pay attention to this. We had good conversations. If that is the same guy, it could be someone else. It could also be another guy that is there trolling the heck out of the chat room. Could be another guy. That could also be the same guy. So I have no idea. But the first Andrew Weaver the first, I'll call him that. Okay, the mean Andrew Weaver. So that's just like a symbol for the troll on the internet, you know. He wants the cake and eat it too. He wants to be respected. Then he also wants to look at the sock accounts, and he wants to do all of that. All, you know, and get something out of it for him. It's about him, me, myself, and I. It's the selfish ego. And And they don't see women as individual brains. They see women as sock accounts. They see women as either usable or garbage. I see all of this on the internet. It's heartbreaking, really heartbreaking. And then we women, Sandy and I have very different act outs. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty with Sandy. I want to protect her, I want to protect her confidentiality. I can only basically bring out to the surface what I am experiencing, and then what I see in other women, and a lot of women. There are many different types of women out there. There are the bubbly types like myself, and then there are the goddess, the untouchable, the photo models. And it goes, it's not that much different than Andrew Weaver and his problems. It's just the different gender, okay? If Andrew Weaver came back as a woman, then he would be the photo model, untouchable, probably, something like this, okay? And I never implied to say that, I'm keeping this general now. I never implied anything like saying that, oh, I need to help you with this, or no, I don't. You don't need help with the dating and all. Obviously not, right? Look in the mirror, girl, So what I meant to say is, like, come out of this doom and gloom, come out of this self-inflicted cage, I would call it. So the situation is actually, when we look all the way from above, the Andrew Weavers and the goddesses out there, so they got a lot in common. And what they have in common is they put themselves into a self-created cage, psychologically. I mean, they're very different in their act outs, but the psychological pain underneath is quite similar, actually. There's shame, there's pride. Pride and shame, I said it many, many times, is one and the same energetic pattern. It's an energy, okay? It just has two sides of the coin, okay? You can flip the coin, and you can decide, I am full of pride now. I'm going in the chat room. And what the fuck, I don't care. I'm in this I don't care mode, and I'm just in the troll mode. Or I've seen all of this. I'm observing you guys. Okay? And the woman will come in the chat room and be, I'm untouchable. Nobody can come ever close to me. I'm too good for everyone. So both have the act out of pride. Sorry, I have to bring this up. This is very important. I'm not sorry, okay? I'm not sorry at all. This stuff is cooking under the surface, and it needs to come out. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing this. And I'm not just finger pointing at you or you or you, You're just one out of billions, okay, that are experiencing exactly identically the same pattern, the same misery, the same loneliness. Andrew Weaver is lonely, the goddess is lonely, desperately lonely, okay. And then whatever I say is being misconstructed by the ego, always viewing this whole thing through the lens of their emotional pain. They cannot even see it the way I say it. They cannot even see it from above because they are drowned in their emotional pain. That's all basically what I've been trying to, in the most velveteen glove way I could possibly do. I put the princess on the P, okay? Really, try to be really careful with that princess. But no, I stepped on her big toe, on her ego's big toe. That's what I did, because whatever I say, it will be misconstructed and seen as, oh, now she's boasting and she's trying to help me now to get a boyfriend or something. No, I'm not. That's not what I'm doing. I want you to come out of this doom. You don't have to be in that doom. There's no need to be in that doom. It's an act out. Do you need to understand that is an act out? Okay? Don't do that act out. I've never done that act out in my life. I guess it's also has to do with different brain anatomy. I'm the bubbly type. I always have been the clown. I always have been the jester, always been the one who actually, also damaged, my self-esteem was damaged by my mother. But all of us are, all of us had our self-esteem damaged during childhood. Almost all of us, not all. Okay, there's still some people that don't, and I envy them, and I'm happy for them also. I'm very, very happy for them. Okay, but yeah, this is my life. I have to deal with it. So I have to deal with the trauma. I'm trying to actually do the best, make the best out of it. Okay, that's why I studied psychology. That's why I pursued this, many different therapies my whole life, pursued this theme into the deepest recesses and abysses that you can imagine. I've looked into the dungeons of the human species and the human brains. And what better way to look into the dungeons than going into the science chat room, right? That is the perfect dungeon. My brother calls it hell. Yeah, you can call it whatever you want, but there are suffering beings in that hell. And it's not for me necessarily to say, here's a rope or a ladder, come climb out of it. I'm helping you. I reach the hand out to you to come out of it. They're probably too heavy for me to lift them out. They'll probably make me fall into it. So that's what they're gonna do, okay, with the heavy weight of emotional pain. And no, I don't want to fall into that. No. I will come into that as a bird, as a bat, an old ugly bat, as Alex Jones called me. I'll go in there as a bat, and I am bird free, bat free. I can go in there. They can't pull me down. I have wings, right? I go in there. I have my sunbeams of love that I bring with me, and I shine those in there and make it real bright so that everyone can see their own bullshit. Okay, but they can't pull me into it. They can't glue me into it like a glue trap or something. No, because the whole time I'm suspended in air with my wings. I'm flattering around there. I look at everyone and my wings are moving. I'm not falling down into that abyss. I've been in many abysses already in my life. So, and that gave me wings. Okay, that gave me real nice leathery bat wings. And they can call me Lucifer if they want to. They call me demon, they call me devil. Yes, go for it. I see that as a compliment. So it's cool. It's to me that's empowerment, and it's sad that they want to give away their power, and they all say stuff like women have power. Meh. Oh. Or they will cry in the chat room and say, I will never have her. And then next day he feels the need to retaliate and will call me terrible names. All of these things are going on. All of this is going on in there. And it's incredibly interesting. I really need to record all of this. I need to write this down. I need to keep a journal about it. But I think then if I start to write it down, then it becomes too schematic, and then it will probably, the really important stuff might even, if it's in some kind of police report, then the real important stuff that I see that really require books and books to be written about it in every nuance, because it's highly nuanced what I see in the chat room. And I'm not looking down on those people at all. I don't want to fall into the abyss and be in that bog next to them, trying to get my legs out of it. But that doesn't mean because I am flying around and flapping and flattering my wings, doesn't mean that I am somehow looking down on them, or I feel like I'm better than everyone else, and I've been accused of all of these things, or I'm virtue signaling. So that's something that Alex Jones will always use, that kind of terminology, virtue signaling. If I say that I have compassion and I want all factory farm animals to be rescued, then Alex Jones will look at me and say, she's just virtue signaling. How lame. And then with that judgment, which is not a judgment at all, it's just stupid, because being compassionate is not meant to be virtue signaling. It just is. I am compassionate. I didn't mean to virtue signal. But with this criticism or this dismissal, he can just wash his hands clean and detach himself, do some cognitive dissonance and detachment from the actual responsibility that he should be aware of, that he has, and that every single person has, and particularly Alex Jones has. So Alex Jones, who has I don't know how many million followers, maybe billions, I don't know, 2 billion people, that at least 1 billion that follow Alex Jones, right? And it's absolutely wrong and terrible that the social media websites have blocked him and have censored him out. Okay, so it's absolutely horrific. That's a breach on freedom of speech. That's our First Amendment right. Okay, that they have all broken. But, it's this, and I'm also criticizing Alex Jones. I'm criticizing him, I'm criticizing Andrew the first, and I'm criticizing whatever these names are, so Inferno, like all of these people that pride themselves with being badass because that's what they have been told. There are also many different societies. And there's one group, the Black Lives Matter group that I talked about many times. They identify themselves with being badass, being tough, being bad. Bad has become good for them. They need to be bad in order to be good. Those are the cluster B personalities. There's a terrible misunderstanding, all of this. But they have been drilled with this their entire lives, by their parents, by their fathers, by their brothers, by their entire community. That was drilled into the boys. And the girls have been drilled with being available at all times and throwing litters, literally. So, like, the girl, has to take all the shit. So that's what they have been drilled with. The boy is the one that dishes out, the girl takes the shit. Like Stone Age mentality. That's also happening in the Middle East, and they want to bring this to the whole world. Red flag right there. Sorry. And again, I am not right wing. I am also not left wing. I don't agree with either side. So I see these things from above. I think for myself. I'm a critical thinker. I pay attention to all of this stuff, particularly psychology. I see what these people are thinking and doing. I see the lies they are telling themselves. And I want women to empower themselves, whether they are from the left group, the right group, or the unempowerment group, the Black Lives Matter Antifa group, or the right-winger groups, the whatever Aryan nation groups, whatever these extreme groups, hate groups that are out there. I am against all of them. Okay. I don't like hate, I don't like violence. It makes the world worse. I am not going to take sides with any of them. It's never going to happen. Violence is wrong, okay? Incinerating forests is a capital crime. But the corporate agenda uses them. They use them to get Donald Trump out, to get enough people to vote for Biden. Biden, who is a corrupt criminal, and Vice President Harris, corrupt, highly corrupt criminals. They only think about profit maximization. That's the only thing they have on their minds. They're not even liberal in that true sense of liberalism with, environmentalism, animal rights, and women's rights, and egalitarianism. Then they don't even care about any of that. Whatever makes them money, that's what they want. That's what they are concerned with. While Donald Trump is the absolute best politician I have ever seen, and in history, compare him to any politician, any president in history worldwide. He is by far the absolute best, okay? And he has proven that to us, and he should get the United Nations World Peace Prize. because he ended the wars as no other person before him has. Okay, this needs to be understood, but it's not being talked about by the media. Okay, but I will bring it up. So there aren't many people that watch my videos, but I will address that anyway, because it needs to be addressed. Okay, and I know that other people will probably feel way too scared or embarrassed or ashamed of bringing this information to other people, because the corporate agenda knows exactly how to peer pressure you. They know exactly how to make you feel ashamed. They use your already existing shame, and they make you feel really ashamed of ever questioning Antifa and Black Lives Matter. Okay, of ever questioning the Hollywood, whatever, all of these, the rap stars, and this idea that they're doing some kind of revolution. No, this is not it's not a revolution. This is organized crime, okay, that orchestrated this, or this would have never come about like that. Okay? They bust people to small cities and suburbs. They would have never organized themselves like this. They were organized by corporate middlemen. Okay, so just important information for you to consider, to think about. Okay, all of this is important. All of this ties in with one another, because they use your shame. They use your pride in with your prestige, and prestige comes in different forms, not just with being rich and having designer clothes. No, that comes also with the cluster B demographics. Who is the toughest? That's their form of prestige. With the women, it's like they want to be the untouchable model. That's the designer type of prestige. They want to think of themselves as being above all of this. This is an escape mechanism from emotional pain. It's also directly the emotional pain that was imposed on you by your family. I know this because it was imposed on my brother and me. Okay, this in a very sneaky, underhanded way. And I'm not even accusing them of being sneaky. It's because they're so unconscious about it that it came out in a very underhanded way. And the more underhanded it comes out, the more control it has over the children's minds. Actually, it couldn't do it with me because my brain is not, it's not designed like, it's not formed like that, where this can actually set foot in my brain. It can't. I've always thought, this is awful. This is really awful. This prestige way of thinking. So for me, it's actually, I go the other direction. I go into reverse. When my mother tells me I should be thin and wear dark blue clothes that make me look like a nun, I go into reverse. I back out of that through the back door. I crash the back door in with the tank, and I say, no, not with me. It's not gonna happen. Okay, I'm gonna wear pink. I'm gonna bleach my hair blonde, and I'm gonna pluck my eyebrows, and I'm gonna look like trailer, and I'm gonna look like porno movie, and I'm gonna do belly dancing, and I'm gonna embrace my body, and I'm gonna eat, baby, eat, whole food vegan, but eat, you gotta eat. You gotta nurture and nurse your precious bodies, women out there, men too. Nurture yourselves. Don't inject testosterone into your... There was a guy in the chat room yesterday. I mean, I can't believe it. I mean, it's interesting he would even talk about this. It's like, I think he's under so much pressure and in so much pain about this that he probably needed to talk about it. And I'm also their therapist, so when they see me in the chat room, they know they're safe, because I will never make fun of them. Never. It will never happen. The other guys in there, they will make fun of you. I've seen Inferno making fun of you and all of this. So, yeah. And those are kids, they don't know what they're doing. When I'm in the chat room, I am the dog mom, I am the mother of all beings, I am your therapist, I am the cookie and cake giver, I will comfort them, and that's the best I can do, that's the best I can give. And I see their suffering, and I see the kids bullying anyone who will bring stuff like this up that's vulnerable. They are in pain. The people that bring up the stuff that makes them suffer, they are in terrible pain. They need to talk about it. This is absolutely necessary. Andrew Weaver the first needs to talk about it. Okay, so then there's another Andrew Weaver that I saw. I looked up the name Andrew Weaver. There are thousands and thousands of Andrew Weavers with each one with a different face. And there's one face that I thought was funny, because that's Andrew Weaver the second. And that one is, I don't know whether he's good or bad, somewhere in between. He has glasses, and he looks a little bit like that little Dow man, the one for the Ready Dow commercial. Like a Play-Doh boy, not Playboy, but Play-Doh boy. And I thought this face looked funny, so that's why I sent that to Sandy, and I said, look, I found another Andrew Weaver. And I think that made Sandy mad when I sent her that. So I didn't mean to make anyone mad. I was just having a blast. I was not laughing about him, but situation comedy. I thought the face was kind of cute in a funny way, and not in a way where I feel like I need to put him down or laugh about. I never do this. I also, very important, I say this, I never use sarcasm. Okay, I don't do cynicism and sarcasm and bullying and putting people down or laughing about someone. Okay, I don't do that kind of stuff. That stuff doesn't make the world better. Okay, I understand. I want to understand people. I want to see into people. Okay, and I want to feel what they feel. I want to empathize. Okay, I want to feel compassion for them. That's the only way we can make the world better. Okay, sometimes I also have psychic dialogues when I'm lying awake at night in bed, and I think about all of these troll energies that sometimes come They follow me all the way into the night. And they go, Nicola, look at me. I'm here. And I go, yes, I see you. I know you're suffering. Okay. But the only path you have is the path into yourself. You can't be eliciting something. Neither from a therapist, like me, hobby therapist, dog mother. You know, I'm the mother of all living beings. You can't be stealing and eliciting more extra specialness, special attention from me. That's what the troll energies want to do. They all do that at once. They all come at me like a swarm of mosquitoes. And everyone wants to be special. You're already special. Every one of you. Every mosquito, every frog who eats the mosquitoes, and every tree, and every dog, and giraffe, and hippo, and rhinoceros, and every person. Okay, every human ape, and every monkey ape. Every living being is already infinitely precious and loved by the infinite cosmos. Okay? No need to get that from a dog mother. So the only path they have is the path within their own minds. That means let go of other people, let go of this eliciting of more, this being adored or being simped at. I was accused of simping at Zane so many times. And I said, yeah, so what? Now what? I'm simping to him, so what? So, is that like a crime? Wow. Why is simping, which comes from the word simple man, that's where it originally started. The simple man who simps up to a woman. So, and that can happen in women too. Now women that simp up to a man, they're called simps too. So there's a heart in the sky. And I have no problems with male simps. I have no problem with female simps. I am a female simp, and I friend zone men because that's what I always do. That is the first step in friendship. Okay? And most of them stay in this friend zone. There's nothing wrong with it. And then maybe eventually, if I trust someone well enough, then maybe something other than that can grow out of it, can evolve out of it. Okay? But that takes a lot of trust on both sides, and that takes a lot of that takes attraction, physical attraction, that takes having things in common, So it takes all of these things. So there's a lot of women that will throw themselves onto the next incel sadistic jerk. I've seen this with Shock on YouTube, and they sexualize that, and so those are the ones that will bring on Islam. Those are the ones that will roll the time back by 300 years. That courageous women like Lou Andrea Salome and others have worked so hard to create this social equanimity, this social egalitarianism. Worked so hard on this in the Western world. And then the masochistic women and the Muslim apologists, they want to wind all this back. How sad. And then there are Stockholm Syndrome people. There are white people from the Western world that will say, oh, Adolf Hitler has done them wrong, so now I need to give them my arms and legs. No. Okay? It doesn't work that way. That's not how peace is created. By you sacrificing yourself and your freedom that you have in Sweden. That's not how things are being done by letting them in and letting them take over, where there are no-go zones, where you can't even go anymore without being raped and murdered. Okay. So that's not making the world a better place. Sorry. I have to say this. This is very important to talk about this. I want women to empower themselves. Okay. Love, the most important step in this is you must love your bodies. You must love your body. This is very, very, very important. Okay. Stop telling yourself you're not good enough for this or that person. Whoever that person is. Stop telling yourself that story. That's a story that your ego likes to hang on to. So your ego thinks, oh, that's better than having no identity. You don't need any of this identification. You are a precious goddess already. You don't need to starve yourself. You don't need to get a line behind someone else. You don't need to tell yourself, oh, he might not like me. So forget about it. And a lot of women that are going for celebrity men, forget about the celebrity man. You can try, but if nothing comes out of it, I've done it. I'm guilty of this. If nothing comes out of it, it's a waste of time. Don't do it. Don't elicit. Don't struggle for love. That's the love you didn't get from your mother. That's why you're doing this. That's why you're struggling. That's why I brought this up. That's why I told Sandy about this. Because I'm hoping that with my own suffering and struggling and my own inwardness process, particularly the ego dissolution funnel that I go through, that I can inspire you to do the same thing. Okay? Whether you're coming from this angle or that angle or another perspective or some other act out. It doesn't matter. Or whether it could also be Andrew Weaver the first or Andrew Weaver the second. So, okay, now there's another Andrew Weaver. No, I call him Andrew Weaver the third. And that one is the God level soul. Okay. And if you watch this video, you know who I'm talking about. So, and that is, for me, when I see a God level soul or an angel level soul, I am so infinitely grateful. It's not about romance or it's not about like, now I need to get this guy or something. I'm equally happy to see a woman angel soul, a woman God level soul who is willing to talk to me, and we can be just friends. So I am happy to be just friends. I always friend zone, and that's not meant in a bad way. So that's meant out of respect. Okay, I don't throw myself onto anyone. I don't chase anyone. I don't want to be chased. I don't want to be chased by Andrew Weaver the first. And I would rather go to the bank and have Andrew Weaver the second there as the banker giving me my money. So, and Andrew Weaver the third, the God level soul, that is someone I can dream about and fantasize about, and I will not ever I will never force myself or throw myself onto anyone. I will never do it. Okay, just because I am friendly and nice in the chat room and bubbly doesn't mean that I am needy or that I am desperate or that I'm trying real hard to reel someone in. That's not what it means. It just means this is who I am, this is my personality, and I am bubbly and I talk like this, So when it comes to romance, I am not the person who makes the first step. Ever, ever, ever. And if the other guy doesn't do it, then it will never happen. So I am a very, very, very passive, very, very, very passive dog mother. Okay, very, very passive. I'm only active when it comes to activism. Okay, when it comes to being outspoken, when it comes to rescuing dogs, when I see injustice, I will stand up for justice, and then I will be mistaken as a confident woman, which I really am not, So then they all think, oh, you're so confident. No, I'm not. I feel very, very awkward, and most of the laughing that I do is also out of awkwardness. It's also funny, of course, all of this, but but I had to laugh so much in the bathroom earlier. Oh my gosh. I was looking in the mirror and I was like laughing and laughing at my own face. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. This is it's infinite cosmos humor. That's what this is. It's never meant to laugh about anyone. It's situation comedy, and I think it's really cool. Okay. But no, I have been trampled down on by my mother and by many boyfriends, and I'm sorry to say it. No, I'm not sorry to say it, that the crybaby Paul is also, in a very unconscious way, it's not meant deliberately, in an unconscious way, trying to keep me dependent on him and trying to keep me feeling like, no, he needs to drive. I'm not. No, you can't drive in the city. You're gonna have an accident. Or no, you can't do this. No, I need to do this. Or no, you don't know how to do this. I need to do this. I need to read this first before you send this, and I need to. It always, keeping me kind of suppressed down with my self-esteem. That's what my mother did. And my mother did it much worse, because my mother is a woman and I am her daughter, and when I was a little girl, when I was becoming a teenager, it was becoming a threat for her. Okay? And that's when things got really bad. Really bad. And it was emotional torture. Okay? And I see that whenever I see a mother and a daughter, where the daughter is being suppressed by the mother, I see that right away. I can see that 10 miles away, that kind of stuff. And I feel so bad for them. And I feel like I just want to separate them, You need to be separated real badly. I had to separate myself from my parents. I had to do it. With my brother, it's like so. My brother has also been very, very, very mean to me. Very mean. But I understand why there's a lot of trauma and jealousy on both of our sides. I was jealous of him, he was jealous of me, and he hates it when my father praised my artwork. Come on, let's get real about this, So, and I was jealous of him for being popular, which I never was, and So, and he can just do this here, and people will come running. And I am a self-saboteur in that way, and he accused me of running an anti-communication train. I call it being a rebel. So, so that's how different people view the same thing from a very different perspective and call it a very different thing. So I call it I'm a truther clown. So, and that's a good thing it's a good thing to be a truther clown. Very, very good, okay? And I love my body. I embrace my body. I embrace my divine feminine. I embrace my body cells. I embrace everything. My brain, my skin, everything. And I want everyone to do that with their own bodies as well. And if you meditate on this, and there's one more thing that in order to highlight this a little bit more for the women, okay, I did the Tony Robbins 30-day audio tapes, and I listened to those 2 times. Those are, one like the old-fashioned, the tape recorder, I listened to those on my Walkman back in LA with headphones on. And I listened to one each day, and I did this audio 30-day program all the way through, and I did it twice. I did it like a year later again. And I needed to do that again. And then I found someone who needed that, and I gave all of these tapes to her, and she probably never ever listened to it, but that's okay. So I should have given it to the public library. Would have been better. Maybe then someone would have listened to it, actually. But it doesn't matter. It helped me tremendously, and I see a lot of people that would make fun of Tony Robbins and call him horse teeth and stuff like that. That's just that's the typical troll making fun of people's appearance, resistance type of mind state. And I got a lot out of those tapes. For me, this was a lifesaver because at that time Arjanov was retired. I was at the Primal Therapy Center in LA doing primal therapy for like so many years. I don't know. I did that I was at the center for about 5 years, paying them a lot of money. And then I did the body sessions with my friend Birgit in Germany, and she had a primal room. So altogether was actively doing primal therapy for about 10 years, I would say. And then also body sessions with other people, and where we would just sit for each other and not be trying to be therapists, but just listen and let the other person go through those emotions and going into the inwardness process, which is really a meditation. It's very similar to Buddhism, actually. But the difference is that in Buddhism, and that's Thich Nhat Hanh believes that we should not hit our pillow when we're angry, because then we reinforce these neuronal connections. Tony Robbins said that too. But I disagree with that to a degree, at least, where I say, yeah, we shouldn't be like doing anger workshop where we like punch a punching bag and like go for this every single day and kind of like dwell on it, No, absolutely not. We should never bring anger up or deliberately try to ride ourselves into anger and watch terrible things so that we can get angry. No, not at all. Or dwell on the past and go like, they wronged me. And so it's already enough when you get low blood sugar, the past comes up already by itself. So, but like when the anger comes up, like for example, last summer, when Black Lives Matter Antifa, when they were lighting force on fire, and the horror that came out of it, a little boy being burned to death with this little puppy on his lap in Marin County because Antifa was lighting houses on fire. Little innocent little boy had to die like this. Condor babies in the nests, those are actually they're supposed to be protected, okay, by Nature Conservancy. Condor babies died up, were burned alive in their nests. Okay, I cried for months, every single day. I cried and cried and cried and cried, rivers. And then there came a point when then also Paul, always making sure that I hear how bad these demographics are, how bad they are. Make sure Nicola knows how bad they are. Leave no opportunity untouched to tell Nicola how bad these demographics are. So, and it just kept on going on, and I was starting to get really mad at him also for constantly forcing the news into my face, over and over and over again. It's like beating the drum on it. That's what he's doing. So you see, nobody is perfect. Okay, he's a light worker soul. He's a good person. He signs every petition. He cares very deeply about the animals, but got issues. We all have issues. Those are his issues, and that's very difficult for me, to say the least, to deal with that. But I love him. I care about him. So we're best friends. He's my best friend, my best human friend. That's what he is. Okay. And we are not together. So, and I live, and that's why I feel so lonely. Also because I don't really have anyone who is there who's a really good listener, and that's why I make videos. So trying to get my friends to listen to what I have to say, and not to feel sorry for me or to feel pity or anything, but to feel compassion, just to empathy, and to see that, there's an actual person, there's a living being who cares and who puts her mind into it, and studying all of this and trying to make the world better, trying to heal myself, trying to help other people heal, trying to make the whole world better. Okay, so that is my mission in my life. And I often get misunderstood, and then get misunderstood by the goddess as trying to imply that the goddess isn't capable of getting her life together, or the cluster B person will think that I think I'm better than everyone else, or the Andrew Weaver, the first, will think that I'm being sadistic. A Muslim will call me a demon. Everyone sees me from a different perspective, but none of this is the truth. Okay, a fundamentalist will call me a witch. It's like we have a name from every single demographic for me. So, and all of this is this comes from their own upbringing, their own society, their own indoctrination, and their own childhood pain. Okay? That's all it is, really. I am just a truther clown, and I'm trying to heal my trying to heal myself from mental illness, from psychological pain from childhood, okay, with a cold mother who was jealous, who couldn't deal with it. She should have never had children, but she didn't see this. She thinks, oh, the kids are gonna be just like her, and they're gonna be her minions. Oh man, she made a mistake with that. So now I'm nobody's minion and never will be. Okay, I think for myself I'm an equal. Women and men are equals. Women, empower yourselves. You need to know that. Okay, you need to love your bodies. Okay, don't wait for Prince Charming to tell you that you're pretty. You should already know that you're pretty, and don't wait for a celebrity guy to accept you and think you are amazing. No, you already are amazing. You are by nature amazing, okay, and beautiful and powerful and divine feminine, okay, and the man is by nature beautiful, divine masculine, okay, and embrace that. Embrace your body. Love yourselves the way you are. You don't need approval from someone else, okay? So I think this is basically everything that I wanted to say for now. Okay, you guys take care. Bye bye.